Robots are on the roads, in the streets, performing on stage, even in the White House, and now in the workplace too, as companies increasingly turn to humanoid robots to fill jobs. In Cheraw, South Carolina, auto parts manufacturer Schaeffler employs about 750 people and a couple of robots too. This is Digit, 5'7", 205 pounds. It's made by Agility Robotics, where Curran Kokar works.
Why design it like a human?
I think one of the reasons is it's easier for a robot to fit into a human workspace, so that the workspace need not be modified.
Digit's commute just a few steps from its charging pad to a stack of metal baskets, each one carrying 25 pounds worth of auto parts from a stamping press. It squats down, pinches the edges of the basket, walks a few feet away, and places the basket onto a conveyor belt to be fed into a huge washing machine to clean the parts.
So Digit over here has arms and hands and legs just like us, but its eyes are not quite on the top of its head. It actually has a LiDAR sensor in its neck and a camera on its chest to figure out how high to elevate it when it puts it onto the conveyor belt.
Dave Kerr, Schaeffler's president of Humanoid Robotics, says all of this used to be done by a human.
And so what happened to that person that used to be doing that job?
That particular person was reskilled. So reskilled to, we would call it upskilling to a more favorable job or a higher tech job.
Schaeffler's plan is to use robots like Digit across its 100 plants in monotonous, repetitive, often physical jobs.
So we expect our employment to remain quite the same, and we will move folks up, the humans up, and we will bring in and backfill them with these humanoid bots.
In the workplace, that will mean displacement, not necessarily replacement, says Indeed economist Laura Ulrich.
There's no doubt that the lowest level of tasks that robots will be able to do first will displace some lower skilled, lower wage workers, and hopefully companies will upskill those workers or reskill them so that they can remain employed in the company.
The bigger threat to jobs right now may be in desk jobs, where the sweeping adoption is happening for tools like ChatGPT or Claude in corporate America. A Deloitte report this year said nearly 3 in 4 companies say they plan on implementing autonomous AI agents within 2 years. Robots as part of our daily lives, long part of pop culture.
And I love you people too.
And also sci-fi dystopia.
Why do you give them faces?
But now some analysts say the world really should brace for a world full of humanoid robots. UBS estimates more than 2 million humanoids will live among us by 2035, with that number exploding to 300 million by 2050. Manufacturing has long utilized robots to help make grueling physical jobs a bit easier. And more recently, companies like Amazon tapping robot fleets to do heavy lifting in warehouses.
We have over 1 million unfilled positions right now, but we've got an aging population. We've got demand for more manufacturing happening in the U.S. and not enough people to do it.
This is Apollo.
Other humanoid makers are in the robot race to staff up manufacturing plants. Mercedes-Benz is teaming up with Apptronik, and Hyundai is working with Boston Dynamics. The company, famously known for its dog-like robot named Spot, which also inspired this nightmare-fueling Black Mirror episode, says robots aren't ready for the home just yet.
Going into the home is a mistake. We want to go into factories first, then work towards consumer-facing service industries, and then go into the home.
Back at Schaeffler, engineer Courtney Bain says Digit's power is its mechanic reliability.
You can throw your back out, you can get sick. Digit doesn't have to worry about any of that.
Digit doesn't have to worry about that. Digit doesn't have as many knee problems as we do.
Even if it takes some breaks, just like us.
When humans are on their lunch break, the robot is not running.
So I guess Digit takes a lunch break too, like everybody else.
In a way, yes.
Okay, Digit takes a lunch break. So then, okay, does Digit eat? Does Digit talk?
No.
Is Digit more
No.
efficient? And is Digit safe? Brian Cheung, who, by the way, is joining us now. Answer all those questions for me.
It doesn't talk, it doesn't eat. When it comes to more efficiency, the company that makes these robots says that they hope to get to a cost of goods, basically how much it costs to make this robot, to be somewhere around $30,000. That's the goal. Might not be there quite yet, but you imagine that that is a lot cheaper than having a human on that line making a yearly salary. But safety is the big question here, Yasmin. You saw in that piece that we had that glass box essentially around us. That's because there are concerns that the robot might trip and fall, most notably onto potentially another coworker. That's the reason why the technology isn't quite there yet, but these companies are treating this as a test.
Brian Cheung, thank you.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.